What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a lap guide in the iRacing iR-04 around Spa, a track which is synonymous with European open wheel racing. With so many fast corners, this track requires huge levels of commitment. And although the Formula 4 definitely struggles down the straights, it more than makes up for it with its cornering abilities. So let me show you exactly what it takes to put in a fast lap around Spa. Coming across the line to start a fast lap, heading into turn 1, which is critical because it leads onto a long straight. It's a bit challenging to see my braking zones here, but there are some dark tire marks on the racing line in front of us. And just at the start of those tire marks is where I'm braking, down from 5th gear into 2nd, making sure to keep the car on the left side of the road, pointed in a straight line until we get into 2nd gear. But as soon as we get into 2nd, that's my cue to start turning into the apex and lifting off the brake. Because this corner leads onto such a long straight, it's critical that we get on the gas early. So we're on the gas hard at the apex, using all of the road on the exit. Now, the track limits here say that as long as you have one of your inside tires on that red and white curbing, you're within track limits. So we're extending the road as much as we can to maximize our speed on the exit. Now, heading down the hill, 5th, 6th gear into Eau Rouge Raidillon, very easy in this car, but we still want to maximize our speed through the corner. So we're turning in just before this 50 board on the left, and we're aiming to have our nose over the middle of this apex curbing. And we turn right as soon as we're past that curbing, touching our right side tires along this white line on the inside, and then straight lining this corner as much as we can. 6th gear, over the hill, onto a long straight. It's a good chance to check your mirrors, check your relatives, and take a deep breath, because we're heading into the most critical sector on the lap. You can gain or lose so much time in these upcoming corners. The first is a sequence of right, left, right. We're moving our left side tires onto this curbing on the left, braking down into 4th gear, and trying to float as much speed through the first right-hander as we can. So we're just floating speed over the apex, using all of the curbing on the right, just tickling the throttle, and then thinking now about getting back to more throttle through this left-hander. So we're on about 50% throttle, trying to carry more speed, again using all of the curbing on the left in 4th gear, and right about here, we're not using all of the road on the exit of this corner, but we're back to full throttle, trying to set up this right-hander and trying to be flat out through this right-hander. We can see there's a seam on the middle of the road. I'm aiming to get my right side tires just to the left of this seam before the right-hander. So we move over, getting those right tires to the left of that seam before turning in 4th gear, flat out, clipping the apex curb and running all the way out over the exit curbing. But you have to be careful because your car can bottom out over that curbing and send you off into the gravel. 4th gear, setting up a really challenging downhill braking zone into a 180-degree right-hand corner. We're braking just here, down into 3rd gear, and again, as soon as we hit 3rd gear is where we start turning in. It's a bit of a late apex, but we're trying to get on the throttle as early as we can. So, clipping that apex hard on the throttle, and then using all of the road on the exit, but trying to maximize our apex speed and maximize our exit speed. 3rd gear, 4th gear, hustling the car back to the right, touching the curbing, and setting up one of the most challenging corners on the track, because we're focusing our eyes towards the apex. But if we move too far to the right on this curbing, the car will bottom out and will lose grip and understeer wide. So I'm focusing on the apex, but looking at this curbing on the right through my peripheral vision. But we're turning in 4th gear, and it's a slight lift after turn in, touching the apex curbing, not going too far to the left because you can get a 1x off track there. Hard on the gas, and it's crucial that you use all of the road on the exit coming out of this corner. You can see here, absolutely maximizing the width of the track here. In fact, coming so close, it was almost accidental that we didn't get an off track. But we're in 4th gear, 5th gear, coming into a really critical double apex left-hander. We're setting up on the right side of the road. For our turning point, we can see there's this yellow grass and this green grass. And just at the end of this yellow grass is where I'm turning in. So turn in here, we're full throttle at turn in, before lifting off and using a tiny bit of trail brake to help rotate the car and bring the nose into the apex. Getting a late apex there, then we're hard on the throttle, using all the road on the exit. Again, inside tires on the red and white curbing, we're okay. 5th gear, minimizing the distance traveled on the exit of that corner into 6th gear, coming into a right-left chicane. We're braking here just at that black tire mark on the white line in front of us. Down into 4th gear, clipping the apex curbing, back to throttle, not all the way to full throttle because we're immediately turning left here. We're turning in early because the car really wants to understeer here. And we're immediately lifting off the throttle to help to get the nose to come in, but then we're hard on the throttle again, using all of the road on the exit. In 4th gear, we're braking just at the start of this red and white curbing on the left. Keeping it in 4th gear though, clipping that apex hard on the throttle because it leads onto such a long straight. That exit is so critical. We nailed it. Again, one more chance to take a deep breath. We have a long straight, we have one chicane left, and you can see our relative. We are 5/100ths down on our previous best lap time. This is going to be a good lap. Coming into Blanchiment, which is usually a challenging corner but very easy in this car, just setting up on the right, clipping the apex on the left, maximizing our turning radius. In 6th gear, heading into the chicane. Again, a tricky braking zone to spot. So there's some dust on the road in front of us. There's a patch of yellow dust, then it goes black track, and then yellow dust again. And at the second dust spot is where I'm braking it. So we're braking right about here, down 5th gear, into 2nd, trail braking all the way into the apex, getting on the throttle, about 50%, immediately lifting off to get the nose to come in, clipping this apex on the left, and then we're hard on the gas, use all of the road in the exit. We don't maximize that exit. We lose a bit of time through this corner because we didn't maximize that exit, but it's still a great lap. Coming through at a 2 minutes 20.862. That is a lap I am very proud of. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a great week of racing. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all the love and support. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.